Okay, I'm live now. So now I got to click back on this, right? Can you get on there and make sure that
they're not hearing any audio.
oh, it's because of these plugged in?
It might be. I don't know. They're not
But you not
hear it.
Two things that we do not have for ZK Sync and some of these other layer twos, which I'll talk about in a second. Number one, we have the airdrop date confirmed by the team themselves. Most airdrops do not tell you when it's coming, right? They really want to reward the people that are loyal. So we actually have the date for the airdrop for Blast, which is rare. And then number two, the style of which Blast is doing their airdrop somebody tell me an easier way to make some money, right? I've made over $100,000 from doing this over the last 3 years. Sam the check. I'm like, here you go, sir. I didn't even work for it, right? I used these applications and I was really just being like exploring these new networks. And as time has went on, I actually realized that I do see that this is the future, right? It's no longer just retail money. And buying it. And now they're buying it of, BlackRock is now buying into crypto, right? If BlackRock buys into something, that means it's everybody's coming, right? They're the largest company in terms of just pure holdings in the world. And, now you got certain banks are offering different Bitcoin ETFs. Retirement options are coming. I was saying that crypto is going to start being accepted in every single store, right? You can shop with it. It's already like that online, but I'm a person, right? The Bitcoin credit cards and debit cards are coming. It's all coming. So we are ahead of the curve, and we're way ahead of the curve with doing stuff like this. Airdrops still won't be mainstream for at least another, I would say at least another year, right? There's so many people that I talk to that still have no idea what an airdrop is, right? And that's why I shared that document in the chat. That's why I made it. So with all this being said, we're very hopeful and we're pretty sure that the Blast airdrop on June 26th is going to be major. And just as a reminder, that's because Blur, which is an NFT marketplace, the #1 NFT marketplace, had over 700, almost $800 million that they gave. Actually, it's over $800 million that they gave away in free money in the form of their token. And back then, all you had to do was buy some $1.50 free NFTs, right? You didn't even have to really pay. They just wanted to see that you use their application. I personally got over $10,000 from Blur back then. Now, the same team that made Blur is making Blast, right? This airdrop, $700 million for a nation, and has a single function to help people trade NFTs. That's all it does. What are they going to do when they provide an entire infrastructure for multiple different applications that are generating their own tokens, right? Imagine how big this airdrop is probably going to be. And then subsequently, after they hand people this free money in the form of probably billions of dollars, imagine what's going to happen to all the projects like the one that I launched with some people on Blast that are on the network, right? So this isn't really my opinion on this. This is what's already happened for a lot of airdrops that have come out before. So this is one of my favorite things I always pull up. It's DeFi Llama. We're just looking at overall the whole market sentiment, right? Where is all the money heading right now? Well, over the last 7 days, you can see that Blast is right here. And while a lot of networks lost money, right? Meaning people, I mentioned bridging onto the network, people passed. With Arbitrum, a little bit went to base. And we're only caring right now about the top dogs. Although this guy right here, Linea, I'm going to talk about in a second. So I wanted to make sure I talk about the more outer scope of the crypto world besides Blast. It's because, as I mentioned, right, this was the one that caught my attention, which was that $50 million went into ZK Sync and that their airdrops expected to be happening on June 13th. It's all speculation. But I would like everybody to take note of this. Just, take note that ZK Sync's airdrop, I'm sure I'm going to talk about it on the call anyway, but I just want you guys to see with your own eyes the headlines that come with this airdrop within the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna make a prediction. All right, hold me to this. I predict that this airdrop will be over $2 billion. Right, that's how much they're gonna say they gave away. It's gonna be $2 billion or more. And this type of airdrops are literally going to only a couple 100,000 people. Right, they're getting different amounts based on activity, but some people treat this like a full-time job. Right. Some people really are like, they know that they can sell these tokens for, a couple $1,000s. And, I'm American. So that'll give me something, decent or whatever I'm trying to do, pay some bills. But in other places, that'll take them for over several months. Right. So it's definitely becoming more and more competitive. And that's why earlier I said it'll be another year here in America before airdrops are mainstream. But the reason I'm so bullish on all of this is because now that we have legislation being passed that is making crypto very favorable to institutions and businesses and big and banks banks and big money, there's going to be way more entrepreneurship from American companies that will put priority on American customers, right? It's no secret that Americans spend the most money online. So you can imagine that translates into the crypto world, which has prompted me to, launch a project, and I chose Blast. So again, ZK Sync's airdrop is coming. That's going to be massive. And the reason I just mentioned this guy down here, this is another layer two. Linea is a layer 2, and I want you guys to see what your own. Look how much money these guys raised. Just so you can, if this is how much money they raised to build the network, you got to understand that the most of this money goes towards marketing. The blockchain requires, if you want to be true, if you want to truly be decentralized and follow what, excuse me, what Satoshi, the original creator of Bitcoin, what he wanted, right? It's supposed to be decentralized, which means multiple people are validating the entire network. So they're running their own nodes or computers in the blockchain. And some networks are not decentralized, right? They're centralized. They're all controlling all of the power, essentially. Now, the reason I'm mentioning all of this is because networks like Linea are looking to make sure that they have a decentralized infrastructure. And they have the biggest backers in the entire crypto game. All of the top investment funds, all of the top exchanges. These guys are going to be massive. And the reason I'm mentioning all this is because if you look right here, they raised $725 million, right? If we assume most of that's going to go towards marketing and just growth, and it's going to, the airdrop's going to be probably the biggest ever. It's going to be bigger than Blast, I think, right? Because even Blast didn't raise this much money. And again, whenever one of these networks announces an airdrop or people start speculating it's coming, like ZK Sync here, excuse me, all of these other layer 2s that haven't airdropped yet start seeing a huge inflow of money. So, I think it was 50% over the last week. Yeah, so they currently have on their network, just move this, Linea right here at number 15, right? Look at that, a 52% increase on the week. And now they sit at $580 million. So basically almost $300 million have been moved onto this network. And the oldest saying in the world, right? Just follow the money. That's $300 million in 1 week. If somebody knows something, right? So it's definitely looking like, all of these networks are going to be, coming very soon. And the only reason you guys haven't really heard me mention some of these is because I don't want you guys to possibly waste your time, right? I mentioned ZK Sync. It's been over a year and a half. I said a year. It's been over a year and a half of me farming ZK Sync, right? Since I first started reading about it and learning it, and I moved thousands of dollars onto the network and used this and added liquidity here and traded these NFTs. But you got to keep doing it, at least on a monthly basis. And as life proceeds, it can be kind of hard to remember to do all of these things. So I think, and then another thing that's important is the difference between getting an airdrop in the traditional sense, like these other layer 2s that I'm talking about, versus Blast, is that Blast has a points system, right? So as soon as you move money onto the network, you start earning these points, and they're just constantly going up as long as you have a balance on the network. And then you can get these multipliers, and then they have Blast Gold, which you could swap for points. The other airdrops do not do this. Blast is the first one that I've seen with this type of system, and I see new networks that are coming out now are adopting this type of model, but this is not how it normally is. In fact, I would tell you, you have no idea how much you're going to get in the airdrop until finally it's announced and you connect your wallet and you see how many points, how big your airdrop is. That's how it's always went for me. I use this network and I just hope that I did not miss what's known as the snapshot, which is essentially when the project takes a picture of the blockchain and looks at everybody's wallets that have interacted with their network or with their applications, et cetera. So they take a picture of the blockchain and that's it. That's the cutoff. If you move money the next day, you're too late. You're not going to get the airdrop, right? No matter if you came in with 100 grand, they're like, sorry, you didn't make the cut. And you don't know when that cut is. So the closer we get towards speculation towards when the airdrop's going to be, the more likely the snapshot was already taken, right? As soon as I start seeing headlines such as ZK Sync has $50 million going on to the network, I can assume the snapshot has already been taken, right? So with that being said, I wouldn't want you guys to, right? I know some people would probably be pissed at me if they wasted what could be, a month before, the airdrop's finally out, and then they see they didn't even get it. It's like, oh, and I don't want you guys to be discouraged. So with Blast, it's a guarantee that if you have some points, you're going to be able to swap those for their token, for Ethereum. We don't know how much these points are worth yet, but that's why you want to get as many as you can, right? So again, if you're new here, just follow along with me. I know it might be a little overwhelming. What I want to do now is just kind of walk you through what I've been doing on these calls. And we've been talking about the Blast network. So I mentioned already, Blast is a layer 2 network. You can move money onto this network and start earning these points immediately. You can start using applications on the network, which are all listed down here. And you can start earning Blast points from those. You can start earning Blast gold. And right now, I believe I would need some gold to show you, but if you click on this, it'll usually show you how much is one gold or whatever amount of gold you have worth. And usually it's like one Blast gold is worth over 40,000 points, right? So once the airdrop is live, you can swap your Blast gold for even more points. And you're going to be able to redeem these points for real money, right? And then if you want all the money you might have, maybe you sent 50 bucks over, maybe you sent 10,000. All that money you sent over, you could take it right back off the network, free of charge, and you keep your money, right? It really is free money. So over the last couple of weeks, I've talked about a few different applications. Primarily, I talked about BlastSwap, which is a decentralized exchange where you're able to just connect your wallet and then swap to coins. If you use this decentralized exchange enough, you'll be given points by them. You can also earn Blast Gold by providing liquidity, which is essentially making
your lights is on. Hi, Corey.
Crypto. Am I muted?
Oh, so I'm so sorry.
No worries. Yeah, so you can earn Blast Gold from doing things such as providing liquidity, swapping the tokens, and it's based off of volume, so you could just do a bunch of different swaps, and you can earn Blast points and Blast Gold that way. I also talked about these guys because we have partnered with them for my meme coin that we launched on the network, known as Blaster. It's essentially an NFT launchpad that you can go on here yourself and you can create a new NFT collection and you can go ahead and launch it and you can start earning Blast points that way, Blast Gold. This is by far the best way that I have found to earn Blast points and Blast Gold, right? I'm sitting on millions of points and hundreds of Blast Gold because I come on here every single day because as you can see, look at these are free, right? See that zero? I could just come on here, connect my wallet, and I could just mint one of these NFTs for a penny, which is my transaction fee, right? So I have thousands of NFTs in my wallet, and Blaster cares about participation. And just so you guys understand, look how many points these guys have given away. They've given away 6 billion points, and they've given away 234,000 Blast Gold, right? And I have a couple, maybe like 80 of that from them. The 80 Blast Gold is worth over 1 million points. So I could just leave my money in my wallet and generate such as Blaster, come on here, connect, 20 of these, 10 of those, and I just keep minting as much stuff as I can, right? And then I think they have a leaderboard now. Okay, I think I have to connect my wallet. This isn't the right wallet for me to look at it, but yeah, they have a leaderboard where you can see some people are on here treating it like a full-time job. It's like, how bad do you really want some free money? I mean, I love free money, so I come on here and just do this every single day. And, I hope you guys are doing something similar, just, making sure you just get into a routine of just a couple extra actions, because I really want you guys to experience, if you haven't gotten one yet, that first airdrop. I mean, there's no feeling like it. I've made over $1 million in crypto from buying and holding and trading. But when I get $10,000 for free, I didn't have to risk any money. I didn't have to risk, a long position with leverage and risk losing everything. I didn't have to, it's just no feeling like it. Because here's why. You get this free money, and since you weren't accounting for this money to be there, you start having ideas of what you can do to generate more money, right? That's how it happened for me back in 2018, right? I got an airdrop from doing an ICO, an initial coin offering. I got about 4,000. I learned how to trade, right? I started taking some trading courses. I lost maybe 1,000 out of the 4, And then I had a good trade, like 5 or 6 good trades. Next, I had 10,000. And then I started learning about, NFTs before they were really a thing, but I wrote that off. And, I just continued to educate myself. And then that's, some of you guys know me, but that's when I chose to move to Miami because I just knew crypto was going to be the future. And I knew I wanted to be a founder. I also knew I wanted to be surrounded by people smarter than me, right? I'm like, somebody out here knows how to make millions of dollars in this space. I'm going to go look for them. And I'm a very good networker, right? So I'm going to all these conferences, I'm going to cafes, I'm going to happy hours, and I just built my network to the point where people were telling me about things I didn't know, which is what I hope I'm doing for you guys right now, right? Just showing you something you might have not known about that people are making tens of millions of dollars from. And, hopefully you come out with some value on it. So, the goal here is get one of these airdrops, take out what you need. But again, try to imagine that you weren't even supposed to have this money. And then that third time you start getting airdrops, that's when it just becomes like a well-oiled machine. 4 different airdrops for the month, right? This is kind of where I'm at, right? I'll get these different airdrops, $20,000, $30,000 a month from this protocol, from this one. I'll take out half and then reinvest it along into a bunch of long-term stuff and more airdrops. And you just keep it going. And by the time you get there, you'll be at a point of probably, really, I mean, I don't know everybody's background, but I would imagine it's like almost like passive income at that point, right? It's not really something that you need to work for, right? It's clicking buttons on a screen. I mean, it can't get much easier than that. You don't got to go dig up nothing. You don't got to travel anywhere. So, I hope that you guys are definitely inspired. So with that being said, I mentioned Blaster Swap. That was the number 1 place where I launched our meme coin, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. Then I mentioned Blaster. And today I actually want to show you guys something new I found. So I woke up yesterday to a nice surprise on one of my wallets, the main one that I use. And I saw I had a like 80 Blast Gold from these guys. I think I have it open over here. So from DTX. So these guys are what's known as a derivative exchange. And I'm going to tell you guys a secret right now that could get you guys a lot of points and a lot of Blast Gold in a very short amount of time. Excuse me. So in order to use this platform, all you got to do is go to dtx.trade and you connect your wallet like I'm connected right here. What this platform enables you to do, for those of you that aren't really big into trading, it enables me to basically bet on the direction of a crypto, such as right now we're looking at Ethereum, right? Let's just zoom out for a second. So, Ethereum's been ripping all month, right? So I could say, you know what? I think this is going to keep going up. I'm going to go long. Or I can say I think it's going to go down and I can go short. It's not a new concept at all. But, the whole point of this platform is I don't need to give them any information. Like if I was going on Coinbase, I need to give them my identity. They got to check my background, all of that good stuff, right? On these guys, they don't check any of that. They're just like, go ahead, man, trade away. So if I wanted to open a trade, I would connect my wallet like this. I would tell them what I'm going to pay with. I have 3 options, either Ethereum, the stablecoin USDB, or Renzo ETH, which is basically staked Ethereum. And then I could put in how much I want to, make a trade with. In this case, I'm not going to do it, but let's just say I wanted to pay $40. And here's where it gets interesting, and it can get dangerous. So be careful. I'm not telling you what to do, right? I'm showing you how this platform works, and then I'm going to tell you how I earned a lot of points in Blast Gold. So you can check this right here, and you can turn up your leverage, right? I think they allow up to 50. Yeah. So my $40 can now become worth $1,900. In which case, if this price continues to move upward, I would make 50 times whatever that price movement actually was, right? So if this went from 3,800 all the way to 4,800 or something like that, based off my $40, we can assume I'd make maybe a couple $100, something like that, right? Now, I told you guys before, it's all about being in a group, right? That's why we got the Band Degen chat. That's why I did the Airdrop Alliance chat, because I didn't even think of this, even though it makes perfect sense. But my friend was like, yo, have you heard of DTX Trade yet? I'm like, yeah, it's one of the Blast derivative exchanges. He's like, yeah. He's like, I just created $1 million worth of trading volume on there. And I'm like, what? How? All he was doing was literally opening a trade with the maximum leverage and then closing it. open it again, close 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 it. And with his $500 over the course of 3 days, he turned into millions of trade or over $1 million worth of trading volume. It's not penalized at all. It's not against their rules. It's not something they discourage. They want that. They want to show, hey, our platform has crazy volume, and they reward you for it. So I did this. I created over 100K. I don't got time for all that, right? I took like $1,000. I turned my leverage up to 10x, and I did it 10 times. And I just got 80 blast gold yesterday, right? Just for doing that. So, if you guys wanted to do something similar and, the clock's ticking, right? It's already almost June. We got till June 26th to accumulate as many points as possible. And I'm just looking for the fastest ways, especially for those of you that are new. How can you quickly catch up, right? It's not easy because you either need to move a lot of money onto the network if you want to catch up really fast, or you got to get creative with your farming strategies. So this is very creative, and it's very easy for you guys to do. You don't need to leave the trade open for longer than 5 seconds. You open the, I'll just show you guys just for the sake of showing you. But, I'll create an account, right? So we're going to go ahead and confirm this transaction. This is giving me basically a sub account. So I basically have to move money into this account to then be able to trade. And then when I'm done, I pull the money out the account, right? So now we have an account. We can go back to trade. And now I can say I want to deposit 0.01 ETH. Oh, wait a second. Okay. I forgot. I think you do need a VPN when you're on here. But basically, you see how this says WETH? That means it's wrapped Ethereum. You can't just put your raw Ethereum in there. They've wrapped the tokens because it's just a more easy way to deal with the smart contracts in a nutshell. So I'm not going to do that right now, but you can see I have 0.05 Ethereum. What I would do is just click right here, and I will go to swap my Ethereum for wrapped Ethereum. It takes 10 seconds. Then I'll be able to, then this would turn into deposit. So I can say I want to put $40 in here, and then boom, I can now enter a trade. I can say how much leverage I want. You're going to want leverage because it is smart contract based. Things could happen. I don't want anybody writing me like, I would recommend 20x max, because when I'm saying anything can happen, like I'll tell you, okay, I got you in a second, Brad. I'll tell you guys, when I was doing this on Friday or Saturday, I used 40x, right? And I put in the trade, and then I didn't get a notification that it went through. So I'm just sitting there on my phone waiting for the notification on my computer. And after like 4 minutes, which is a long time when you're using a lot of leverage, after 4 minutes, I refreshed the screen and I saw my trade was open and I was down. I was down a lot. I was like, oh my God, close. I'm just trying to create volume. I'm not trying to do this. And the reason that I say anything can happen is because things like that happen, right? When you're using a crazy amount of leverage, for those of you that don't understand, you're borrowing money from the exchange. And they say, hey, okay, you think the price is going to go up? Okay, well, if the price goes down even 30 cents, you're out. You lose all your money, right? So that's why if you're using a whole lot of leverage to create that volume, you want to get in and get back out, unless you really know what you're doing. So with this case, I would recommend 20x maximum. So like, look, if I were to choose 20x right now, see my liquidation price? The current price is $3,909. I would get liquidated at 3,726, which is right around here, right here. That's not a crazy amount of movement, right? But if I do something like 50x, now my liquidation price is not 3,838. So yeah, literally right here. 3,838. Wait, sorry. Right here. Look at that. It was just there yesterday, right? And the whole thing, like, see this red candle over here? This is the scariest thing that can happen when you're using leverage, because this is called a market maker just hunting, right? He looks for all these people that are using leverage, and they just eat your position up. And they're like, get liquidated. They get up everybody's liquidity, and then they move the price somewhere. And I know this just because I have some trading expert friends. But let me pause there for a second. Let me go let Brad go real quick. Brad, do you have a question? Yes, sir. Yeah, it's definitely a good question. So, all the dexes are always a pretty good bet, right? So, like, yeah, let me actually just share my screen again. And then Ben, I see your question. I'll explain that in a second when I dive more into BlastHoge. So yeah, great question, Brad. So here on this screen, I always tell people if you're looking to try to find a product before they do their airdrop, some Binance, they got their own blockchain, but they got their own coin. Crypto.com has their own coin. Those are centralized exchanges. Coinbase is coming out with Base Network. So in the decentralized world, specifically on Blast, I would tell you that using these different decentralized exchanges is a pretty sure bet. In fact, if you've been using Blaster Swap, like maybe when you're swapping to a BlastHoge, you'll notice that in your reward section in a little menu where it has your blast points, your blast gold, and then it has what they say pre-generation points. They're already letting people accumulate points for their future airdrop of blaster swap, right? We don't know what that's going to look like yet. I'm sure I speak to their team almost on a daily basis, their core team. They're based in China, real nice guys. They pretty much told me, they're already putting stuff into motion, but it's going to be a very big secret until they finally announce it. So it's good to just be, number one, using a lot of different dexes. And that's just one. Thruster Finance right here, they also have thruster points, right? I can't pull it up right now because they block American IP addresses. But if you've used Thruster Finance before, it's just like using Blaster Swap. It's a decentralized exchange where they have thruster points. So if you use their app, you got to ask yourself, well, what are they going to do with these point systems? Well, I mean, based off the network that we're using, Blast, where we're accumulating these points, and they clearly said it's going to be for a future airdrop, we can assume it's the same thing. I mean, these guys right here, Juice Finance, if you were on the call last week, or if you guys weren't on the call, I did a deep dive into this app. So they're essentially a decentralized finance app. And just a FYI, when I first started farming on Blast, these guys did not have a token out, right? So like they were one of the early platforms to finally release their token. And I got $2,000 worth of it for free. And I had been using the platform for 2 weeks. So, the whole thing is, I was coming on here, I was borrowing some money, and then I was just using these vaults. And then, Brad, just to continue to answer your question, I always look at this vault a lot because look at this. You got thruster points, you got hyperlock points, you got Egen layer points, you got EtherFi points, right? 3 of these are staking protocols. This one's a DEX. And then obviously we're on Juice right now. So I think it's a safe bet that all 4 of these platforms right here are going to have their own airdrops. And this is where I would primarily focus because all 4 of these guys are very well funded. It's very hard to try to look at this full list like I do every day and figure out which one's the best, right? It's a loaded question because it requires me a couple people, if they've heard of it, go look at their pitch deck. Do they have any partnerships? Where are they based out of? Who founded it? I do this for every single one. So I would really tell you, so with that being said, a platform like Juice, which currently has $500 million on their platform, they're not going to really look to partner up or host other protocols that aren't going to be huge. So with these guys, I think all 4 of these are pretty safe bets. So again, we have a DEX. You could use Thruster Finance or you could use Blaster Swap. I'm pretty positive Blaster Swap's going to have their own token. Hyperlock is a good place it's a protocol that you can use after you add liquidity on a DEX. You can go less points, right? So a lot of the game when it comes to earning these different points in airdrops is using the protocol. And all 4 of these, or all 3 of these really, are all require you to add liquidity. So what a lot of people do is they'll just add liquidity for ETH. You just go lock it on these platforms for X amount of time until you earn enough points that you're happy, right? So yeah, besides the DEXs, you know, that's really the safe bet, just to recount. So I mean, all you would have to do is just Control F DEX on this page, and a good way to estimate, you know, which one of these is more likely going to have their own token. I just specifically would tell you to look at how much Blast Gold they've been given, because remember, Blast Gold is given manually by the founding team of the Blast network to projects every 2 weeks. They look at the entire ecosystem and they say, okay, who do we really want to reward because we know they're going to bring a lot of value to the ecosystem? And they hand it to those. 99, I would say 90, 95% of the Blast Gold is going to DEXs, right? There's a couple NFT projects on here. There's a couple different infrastructure projects, but 90, 95% are going to the DEXs. That's where all the money is. So I would tell you to just Control F, look at DEX, and then just look at how much Blast Gold they got, right? So Blaster Swap's been given 400K. These guys, 770, 802, 515. And then also remember, they're not all the same type of DEX, right? Which stands for decentralized exchange. Some of them are spot, which means there's no leverage, like what I was just showing you guys on DTX. Instead, you could just swap your coin, your Ethereum for a coin. You can just do one quick swap. And then a perpetual DEX is when you can use leverage. So there is a difference there. A lot of perpetual DEXs, they make so much money that they don't even care to release a token. I'm specifically speaking on the spot DEXs when I say Control F. So let's actually just do that. And that's not completely true, right? DYDX and a few other ones have definitely done airdrops. But if you know anything about perpetual DEXs, it's that when somebody's account gets blown up and liquidated, those guys make a lot of money. So it's not like us where they rely completely on fees, right? Imagine if Coinbase was offering you the option to, you know, risk your $1,000 to make 10,000. People would quote 8 bin for that all day long, and Coinbase would make DEX. There's a lot more hoops to jump through the SEC and all of that, so a lot of people stay away from that. And the SEC is known to come after perpetual DEXs. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I hope that's a nice detailed answer for you, but the DEXs is definitely no problem at all. And then I'm gonna talk about was this other article I had up, and I just kind of wanted to show you guys with your own, so you can see with your own eyes. So this is crypto fundraising. I mean, I think the name speaks for itself. It's just like, okay, Kyle, besides the fact that I've gotten a 6-figure number from all of them, we can look at it ourselves and just look at how much money these projects are raising, right? These guys, BitGet, they're a wallet, right? And they're already worth 100 million, right? And they did a public sale, which means anybody could have participated. Most of these projects is private venture capital money straight out of Silicon Valley. So I mentioned it before, but I'll just explain it again to you guys for those of you that may be new, which is when you ask me, why are they giving away all this money for free? I say, because these venture capital people to give them $100 million to build this new. What's hard is to convince people like me, who's already on 20 networks, why he should join you, number 21, right? Or even harder, convince the average consumer to give a damn about your network. They barely own any Bitcoin. They don't care about your network. So the number one way to incentivize people to care is through airdrops, right? And it's really a catch-22 because on one hand, it brings them a lot of network activity, at least before the airdrop. Like right now, I just showed you guys the ZK over the weekend, right? 50 million is not a small number to happen in 48 hours. But once these airdrops usually happen, these networks usually see a very large decline in terms of activity and things like that. So the way that they try to incentivize people is doing multiple airdrops. And I've been telling people since the beginning, Blast is going to do this major airdrop on June 26th, and then they're going to do another one probably within a month or two, right? Maybe within 6 months, right? And that's not my opinion. That's based off of what their team already did last year with Blur. This one happened around January. This one was around August. And I got both of them because they made it very clear that there's going to be another season. And even right now, if you go on Blur, which again is an NFT marketplace, and I click on airdrop right here, look at this. just so you guys are aware. Okay, I guess I got to connect the wallet. Remember, this is the same team that's making the network that we're all excited about right now. They're giving away 2 million Blast Gold. What do you have to do? You got to either buy and list an NFT on the platform, or you could trade them, or you can bid on them. And bidding on an NFT requires you, let's say you have $100 worth of Ethereum, you're essentially putting it into the pool of all the activity that's going on, right? It's very easy to do. You would literally click this, you put in how much you want to add, and then you can go ahead and just add it to the pool. I'll just go ahead and do it just to show you guys. But again, this is just a great way to fund. Oh my goodness, there was crazy lightning outside just now. This is a great way to start farming, Blast. They're mainly giving away Blast Gold. And just so you guys understand, again, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but you guys want to get this free money, man. I can't say it enough, so I'm just showing you guys everything that I know based off of doing research on this every single day. I don't do anything else besides, building the businesses, but this is all the research. This is 90% of the work, just knowing what to do, right? Information is key in this market. It is not having a crazy amount of money. That'll help you. But yeah, so you see this, 0 out of their 2 million gold guys has been given out. They've given out 0 gold so far. They've been very vocal that their gold distribution is going to be at the time of the Blast airdrop. So think about it. You come on here, you start earning their points and earning their, and it tells you how much Blast Gold you're going to get. Right? So even though this says 0, people do have an idea of how much they're going to get. And then you can see they've also distributed 12.4 billion points. So, we got DTX trade. Open up DTX.trade. Come on here. Let's do 5-6 trades. Boom. You're going to secure some Blast Gold. Go on Blur. Or these free there, right? I don't know why I haven't done that. I got thousands of NFTs. I haven't even thought of this yet. But remember, you can list, bid, or trade NFTs on Blur to get this airdrop. So listing is literally you say, I got this for free, but I think I'm gonna try to sell it for $5, and you just got it up as a listing like it's on Craigslist. It just sits on here, right? Just so I can show you guys. If I click here on collections, these are all the different NFTs that are currently listed on here. So if I just click on this random one, see all of these right here that are for sale, 135 listed. That's all you got to do. You just put it up for sale. Maybe you don't even want to sell it. You're like, I kind of like this art. Okay, make the price crazy high. You're still going to get your Blast Gold and your Blast Reward. Maybe you really do want to flip some of these. Well, NFT flipping is a game in its own, right? I don't know too many good NFT flippers. It's a hard game to maneuver. That's why I recommend just getting free NFTs from Blaster. So again, got free NFT on Blaster. Very easy to find. You open up blaster.xyz and you go ahead and just look for the trending. I mentioned it before. If you're hoping that one of these NFTs turns into something very valuable, then make sure you're looking at the trending, right? Because there's thousands of collections on here already, even though they've only been out for a little bit over a month or two. So there's tens of thousands of collections. You can get lost very fast. So just look at the trending. Look at the hourly trending, 6 hours, and look at these right here. If you've never been on this website, TVL stands for total value locked. It means how much money has been given to this NFT collection. Well, these are mostly free, so there's 0, and it's still 63% minted out. There's been 9,658 unique people that have minted this so far. So I come on here almost every day, and I just look at what's almost done. What's almost done? Okay, this one, 63%. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, this one's at 87%, and it costs money. So this is probably a legit project, right? Look at that. They got a Twitter account and everything. So if I were looking to try to, Zeneca. Okay, this is a big time influencer. Look, we might have just stumbled on some gold, guys. Hold on. How much is the mint? 0.03. That's not bad, and it's refundable. I've mentioned this on the first call where I talked about this platform and why I'm so bullish on it. They have the option to make NFTs refundable. What does that mean? The team will charge a % fee for minting these NFTs, right? So in this case, it's 0.033, which comes out to, I want to say, $90, something like that. So let's say I want to mint one. I can mint up to 3. I can do 30 transactions total. And then it says by minting one of these NFTs, I'm going to lock that Ethereum for 30 days. Now there's an option. You're probably wondering, well, how does that work? How does the team make any money? Well, there's an option when you mint one of these NFTs to do what's called an upgrade. An upgrade means I can literally take the money out the NFT, right? It's no longer refundable. I want that money back, right? It's a refund. If I never upgrade it, then I can basically just go sell it onto marketplaces like Blur, right? Blur has a very obvious thing for NFTs from Blaster that tells it if it's been upgraded or not. So you can't, people were worried about getting scammed. Marketplaces like Blur make it very easy so you can know, did this guy do the refund out of it or not, right? Is there any Ethereum locked inside this NFT still? So, this might with him for years. He's like just a big VC guy. He can give you some good alpha. Definitely recommend following him. I actually met him at the conference in Miami. What was it? It was the Bitcoin conference in 2021. I was in Miami Beach, and he was speaking on stage, and then he was actually speaking with my then business partner, and they actually knew each other, and it was just all these crypto moguls. It was a good time. But he's a real smart guy, pretty famous in the space, and it looks like he is launching his own NFT marketplace. So that is bullish. Everybody's coming on the blast. The storm is coming, guys. Like, I've had a few people write me like, so when do things start happening? I'm like, you gotta be patient because you're not ready for how much action is about to happen on this network. You got to be early. It's like you get in early, you get all the good stuff you need, you accumulate your points, and then you just wait, right? You keep doing stuff, but you just wait because it is coming. It's going to be like a flood, right? There's going to be international headlines, CNN, and everybody's going to be rushing in here. There's going to be billions of dollars pouring in. All these tokens are going to start going crazy. I've seen it happen multiple times, multiple times. Every time there's a major airdrop, everything on that network goes crazy up. Right, that's usually how it goes. So, let me pause there, see if there's any other questions, guys. I know I'm kind of just rambling. Hope I'm putting some good information out there. Any other questions while I'm looking? Anybody want to raise a hand? Next question. Hey, Brad. Yes, thank you. Okay. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. I mentioned that I've been working been crypto for 8, and what I've been telling people about lately is the project that we launched called BlastHoge. So, funny enough, our usual call leader Ben is in South Korea right now, speaking to people about BlastHoge, because one thing that a lot of people, especially my American friends, they don't understand. America is not where crypto lives. Not yet. Maybe after this new regulation that just passed, we're going to see a huge uptick in terms of adoption here, but it's all in Asia. I mean, like the Western Hemisphere does not nearly care about crypto nearly as much as Asia. And Ben understands this completely from a standpoint of when he's connecting with people. Ben's actually calling me right now. But yeah, he understands this completely. So he's over there meeting with different people, just looking to make more connections in that space. So this is the project that we launched, right? And essentially, it's a meme coin. It's a dog, right? Everybody loves the dog meme coins. All of the meme coins except Pepe that have gone over $1 billion market cap are all dog coins. So let me give you guys some background on this coin really quickly. So we are a derivative of Hoge Finance. Hoge Finance launched in 2021. It had tremendous success in 2021, surpassing the $250 million market cap. One of the people that I got connected with and a good friend of mine, his name is Cassius. He is the founder of BlastHoge, right? Our version of the coin on Blast Network. And he is one of the 16 stakeholders that leads this effort for Hoge Finance, right? So they have 16 people that get to elect how the community moves forward, etc. And my friend is one of the ones that leads that. So he put forth to the community that he wanted to launch a derivative of Hoge on Blast Network. So we were working for the last 2.5, 3 months, putting everything together, the smart contracts, the team, the marketing, the future roadmap for the next 2 years, how the tokenomics work and how we're going to distribute everything, what partners we're going to establish, writing the documentation, the graphics, the website, getting the social posts together. There's a lot of work, right? And we finally launched it. And what I'm excited to tell you guys about specifically is a few different updates. But so right now, just to look back at what we've done so far, right? So we launched the token just under 2 weeks ago. We did it with really just the core team, and then a lot of you guys that were joining on this call were knowing about it before. Now, so far, we've really done 3 things, right? We did our Blaster Swap partnership, and we're going to do an event with them. There's just a lot of things that they need to put in place for it first, and to make it a biggest splash as possible. But looking forward of what's coming, number one, I mentioned on the last call, I think on Friday, that we have another partnership we're about to announce soon with BladeSwap. It's bladeswap.xyz. They're another decentralized exchange that has a very nice gamification system. Essentially, people that come onto their platform and interact with Hoge, whether you're trading it, whether you're adding liquidity, there'll be extra rewards there, right? So there'll be the BladeSwap token, there'll be Blast Gold, there'll be Blast Points. Because I think it was Ben or somebody that asked, like, what is BlastHoge going to do? Let me just remind myself who it was. Yes, Ben. Yeah, so you were asking, like, what is BlastHoge going to do in terms of getting our holders, Blast Points and Blast Gold? Here's one thing I want to explain real quick about how these things work. So in order for you, user of the network, to earn Blast Points, you need to have Ethereum or USDB in your wallet. There's no way to earn Blast Points unless the protocol that you're using gives points to their community, right? So you mentioned, I think, PackMoon and such. What these guys did is they partnered with these protocols that can take ETH, and they're going to be having distributions go out to their community. So, like, for example, I know PackMoon, one of the first protocols that they partnered with, because I followed them so heavily, was Wasabi, which, if you weren't on the call a few days ago, it's a protocol where you can connect your wallet and you can basically do leverage, like what I showed you guys on DTX.trade. And you can choose to say PackMoon's going to go up or down. And if you traded PackMoon, you earned a PackMoon reward. So funny enough, we just partnered with what I was about to talk about, actually, and I'll just talk about it now. We partnered with Pack Finance. They're actually on that list of applications. Here, let me just share my screen again. So we just partnered with these guys. They just built us, it's not out yet, but let me just search it. Excuse me. Oh man, I thought I had to sneeze. Pack Finance, right? So these guys do a couple different things, including they build customized Telegram bots. So essentially, we're going to be introducing a game you can play right in the Telegram, and you can earn both BlastHoge, you can earn Blast Points, you can earn Blast Gold. There's going to be some contests, because really, in order for us to really start offering these incentives, there needs to be kind of a lot of activity on Blast. There's not a crazy amount of activity on Blast yet. It's going to get there, because these guys don't just have, they have Blast Points and Blast Gold, right? Like you can see right here, they distributed 47,000. So when we announced this week, what it's going to enable you guys to do is just, if you're on the Telegram, you can literally play this little mini trading game and you can win free points and Blast Gold, right? So that's just one thing. And then I have a list here. Oh, District 1. This is an official partnership. This is going to come straight from their Twitter. If you're not familiar with District 1 is maybe second, or it's I think it's first, but it's probably second most popular application on the entire Blast network. District 1 is essentially like a social chat room where you can invest into different rooms being held by different projects. They have their own crypto called OLE. They also have this in-app currency called Gems. You can earn both of these just by connecting to a room and participating in conversation, right? So we have a BlastHoge room where we have a lot of active people on there, and people are earning gems and Blast Gold and Blast Points. So this week,
because I was the one that had the question, so I just wanted to clarify.
Sure.
The base is kind of Blast
is primarily kind of an airdrop farmer network, right? And what I think a lot of the existing meme coins do is they link holding of the meme coins to the actual airdrop reward activity. So I hold PackMoon, which is like 40 million or 50 million market cap. They won the gold jackpot. You can deploy it in liquidity pools. And just by holding PackMoon, I'm earning points as part of the airdrop. Whenever I buy BlastHoge, the number of points I'm generating today actually reduces. So that's why I asked about these partnerships, because the more you can link it to airdrops, the more you're going to create buy pressure from the people in the network, because they're primarily there not to make money off meme coins. They're primarily there to farm points.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one way to look at it. One thing I would tell you though is the only way you earn points is by holding, like if you're a smart contract, right? You have to be holding Ethereum or USDB inside the smart contract. So if I just pull up, just to show you real quick. Oops. So I know exactly what you're describing, but like if I just pull up PackMoon really quick, right, on the blockchain Explorer. So here's PackMoon smart contract, right? And if I pull up their contract, there's only $1,000 in here, right? So they're not earning any Ethereum. What they've done is they've partnered with protocols that are earning blast points for ETH being there, and they have a partnership with those protocols to direct blast points to people holding PackMoon. We're gonna be doing the same thing, but it's funny because I've been a software architect, engineer, and when you start off a new project, you got to give it some time to really get people, like especially other protocols. Like luckily for us, we have a superstar team that everybody kind of knows a lot of people, and we've been able to skip the line with a lot of this stuff. But for example, if I wanted to call Juice Finance right now, and like even if PackMoon wanted to call Juice Finance right now and say like, hey, we want to do a vote with you guys, there's definitely an element of like they're gonna look at it like, you guys are too small right now, right? Even for somebody like PackMoon. PackMoon did a very good job of going viral, and they were out as soon as the network came out, right? I bought PackMoon on day one, right? I'm very familiar with them. I'm very familiar with their founder, Lamboland. I've been following him for some years and watching his journey. So, I mean, we're going to do something real similar, but, we've only been out for 2 weeks, right? PackMoon didn't have all of this stuff on day one. We definitely are going to introduce it to you, Ben, or introduce it to our system. And that's kind of what I was starting to go down. So for District 1, for example, they are going to be giving us a distribution of Blast Gold, Blast Points, and then we're going to throw some BlastHoge in there for the competition that we're going to have on their platform. It's going to come straight from their official account. It's going to be a huge pool. And, it's funny because PackMoon, they basically told us that they were only willing to do it for up to 3 meme coins. And I believe PackMoon's one of the other ones. So other than that, I'm sorry, does that kind of address what you were saying?
Yeah, it does. I mean, as long as you guys keep having partnerships that's somehow going to generate, gold points for people for holding BlastHoge, I think it's just going to create buy pressure. Because right now, there's a lot of choice on, okay, do I deploy funds in Hoge? Do I deploy funds in different dApps? And the best is when you can combine the two. I can be long on both the airdrop and BlastHoge, and those two don't conflict. So these partnerships are pretty great. Yeah, and like Pew, for example, like $3 million market cap. They already have a liquidity pool on Blaster Swap. So I'm holding Pew and earning gold points on Blaster Swap. So those things are gold. And if you guys want intros on the Blast Network, I know the founder of Juice. I'm sure he'd be happy to make some intros. There are, smaller dApps with lots of gold to give out. And so I think partnerships is what's going to make sure that, people who have BlastHoge don't feel like they're missing out on other airdrop activities by keeping their funds in BlastHoge. So you just keep that kind of hold buy pressure.
Yeah, I mean, that would be amazing if you're able to introduce this to them. No, I definitely agree. So it's funny with Pew Token. So when we first started building BlastHoge, one of the first things I told Cash, our founder, I'm like, listen, we need to find a partner DEX. I'm not interested in just randomly adding liquidity somewhere and not having any type of promotion that can be done on the DEX. Like, it doesn't make any sense. This is a very known coin on the Ethereum network. Let's make a splash, even if it's like a gradually. So Blaster Swap, we talk to them almost every day. I don't know if you're aware that Pew is their token, right? It's their meme coin. So they can essentially choose whatever rewards they want for it, right? And I think a lot of people like myself were aware that it was their token. So I think they did like 1,500 or so in their pre-sale, and there's a lot of whales over there. But I mean, I think they've had a pretty good, pretty successful, launch, and I do feel like we've talked with them multiple times about creating a reward system, but they said just essentially that they just need to make sure everything goes smooth first, right? They're very wary, especially if you guys aren't aware of Munchables. It was an NFT project that launched at the beginning of the Blast network. I think they raised over $100 million in Ethereum, and then one of their developers was a Korean developer, North Korean, and he stole all the money from the project. Right? If you look up Munchables exploit, and I think it kind of sent a shockwave through the whole ecosystem of Blast, right? Especially from a protocol standpoint. So they've told us, yes to the Blast Gold and this. They made us do KYC. I had to give them my government identity, and they needed, they're just scared of scams. So I do think it's coming, but we're talking to them every single day, like, hey, you guys ready yet? Can we do it yet? And they're like, one more week, right? And I believe them. I don't think they're pulling our leg. So in due time, there's nobody that wants to start offering that kind of stuff more than the team. We definitely don't want anybody to feel like, FOMO from other stuff, right? Because we do think that our time is coming.
Cool. Good to hear you guys are cooking.
Yep. Appreciate that. Any other questions, guys? Anything related to BlastHoge? I can keep going through stuff. Yeah. Yes. So here's our immediate roadmap, just for full transparency, right? So we still haven't. So the Hoge leadership, there's a lot of checks and balances there, more than you would probably believe that exists for a meme coin. We can't just go willy-nilly and start promoting however we want. There's a lot of people that have to say yes, and there's a decentralized, voting system. So finally, after 2 weeks, we're finally going to be able to post onto the Hoge Reddit, because the 60,000 wallets that we did this airdrop to still have no idea. Now, we already have a lot of liquidity that we're waiting to add, but we're waiting for pretty much all the people that want to sell to get out first, right? We didn't think it made sense, and we have some advisors from some very known companies that told us don't add all the liquidity until after you do your major airdrops. So our major airdrops are done. Case in point, there was somebody that had bought the first day that just, they were waiting. I guess they were waiting for us to just, moon so they can just exit, and they exited. And we're like, all right, there's one person that we want all of that gone first, right? Because once the coin's worth, tens of millions of dollars, there's nothing scarier, at least in my opinion, than just seeing a 20, 30, 40% drop, right? And I'm experienced with that, but I don't want you guys to have to experience that. So we want all of the, what they call jeeters, we want those out early. So, to your question, really what's next? So in the immediate roadmap, we're going to start posting on the Reddit, and Cash, our founder, he's very well known in the Hoge community. There's going to be probably thousands of people that are going to start coming over. And we're going to start speaking on the Hoge Roundup, which is essentially a weekly roundup report that they do on Twitter Spaces. Cash is also going to be doing an interview in the Financial Times. He's also going to be on, he's going to be on Financial Times. I'm not sure which journalist he's going to be speaking with. I believe it's going to be video though, because Cash is very well versed in the meme coin world, right? He's advised several meme coins. So once we get to that point, yes. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. See, this is why I need Ben here, right? Trying to manage the call and speak. It's not easy. Yeah. So yeah, he's gonna be speaking on there, and that's when we're really gonna be pushing a lot of different things. Number one, the whole next major item on the roadmap is we're gonna form a DAO. Right. So Ben, this actually kind of addresses a little bit of what you're talking about. So we do have a partnership with Brahmify, which is essentially a multi-sig. And if you guys are holding, let me actually tell you guys this real quick. If you're holding more than $1,000 worth of ETH or USDB on Blast, you should definitely make a multi-sig. And if you're not familiar with a multi-sig, it's essentially what it could be is it's a smart contract that acts as a wallet that you can make any number of wallets have to sign off on a transaction for money to come out, whether it's BlastHoge, whether it's ETH, whether it's USDB. So we have a multi-sig for BlastHoge. I have, a multi-sig for myself where I have to connect with, because I'm so scared of, getting hacked or anything like that. But these guys are paying a lot of Blast points and a lot of Blast gold, right? So you're already earning Blast points from your balance, sitting in your wallet from the network, right? If you put it into a Brahmify console, then you would actually start earning Blast gold on top of your points that you would already already be generating. The only difference here is that you wouldn't have this, right? So that's what you miss out on. But to be honest, one Blast gold is worth tens of thousands of points. I think that it would be hard. You'd be hard pressed to have this unless you're sitting on a really high balance plus your multiplier, right? If you're sitting on like 1,000 or so, you should definitely consider moving to a Brahmify console. It's very easy to set up. You would just click this. You would click that you want to create it on Blast. You would go ahead and connect your wallet. And I'm not going to walk through the whole steps, but you would just go ahead and just follow the steps and then send your money there. And if you want to send it out, you just sign the transaction from the wallet you made it with. It's very easy. So the reason that I'm mentioning Brahmify is because the next step for us on the major milestone is that we're going to form a DAO. So Hoge on Ethereum already has a DAO. The DAO has it's over 1,000 people, but actively it's maybe around 100 or so that will vote on different proposals, and then finally it'll go down to the 16 stakeholders to take their vote, and their vote represents a percentage of the total vote and blah blah blah. So we're going to be forming the same thing, and the goal here is to become the largest DAO on the entire network. So what exactly do we plan to be doing here? Well, we're going to release an NFT. This NFT is going to be on the Dutch style auction. This is our docs that I wrote just to kind of explain everything if somebody wants to see more. But we're going to release this NFT, and we're going to do what's known as a Dutch style auction. So basically, we're going to start the price dirt cheap. It's going to be $1. You want to join the DAO, come pay $1. But every time somebody mints one of these NFTs, the price goes slightly up. If nobody mints one for 24 hours, the price goes slightly down. All of the Ethereum that we collect from these NFT mints, 80% of that is going to sit in a wallet. It's going to be in a smart contract. So Ben, to your point about Blast points and Blast gold, probably just points in this case, but we would start getting a crazy amount of points from the network, of which we would be delegating over 80% directly to everybody that's part of the DAO. Now, in this case, if you got in when there's $1, it's very different than somebody that might have waited 3 days, and now we got 2,000 people inside the DAO, and the price is 1 Ethereum. Now, one of my good friends, his name is Jacob. He launched a collection on Blast called Little Cats. This is where this idea that I'm speaking about came from, right? So you can see one of their NFTs costs 1.479 Ethereum right now, and they have around 300 or so people inside their DAO. And I'm actually just going to show you guys something real quick. So this is their website. See this right here? This is their reserve. So from their project, they currently sit on $5.1 million. And I've talked to him a few times of what should our strategy look like? And he's going to be one of our multi-sig DAO members, as well as one of our advisors for it. But basically what he does is, all of this money sits here. This is about 70% of what they made. And it's generating a crazy amount of points that they're then going and passing to everybody that's part of the DAO, right? Now, I told him what I plan to do is, since our CEO Cash is about to finish his Series 7, and I spoke to our legal team, is we're going to take 20% of those funds and we're going to do different DeFi strategies, right? I haven't seen any NFT project do this yet, or really any project, because there's not really any thriving communities on Blast yet. But if the goal of a community is to help each other, then I don't know how we can help somebody more than this, right? There's one thing to just promise token go up, and then there's another thing where we're putting our money where our mouth is by taking funds we've made and then putting it right back into the hands of people through things like this. So imagine that we have $1 or $1.5 million worth of ETH, and we come stake it on a platform like this that's earning all of these different points, and we have maybe 1,000 people in the DAO, and we just distribute it to everybody, right? I already like the idea of Blast Network when it comes to passive income, but this would be taking it to the next level. Now, there's obviously a lot of, different things we got to check through when it comes to, I would want to see, audits and stuff like that. But, that's kind of what's really next. Now, for when this is going to happen, this is going to probably happen right before the airdrop. Right? We're looking to capitalize when Blast has the most attention to finally go ahead and launch this. That's when we're going to add a crazy amount more of liquidity. I mentioned the reason Ben's not on this call is because he's in South Korea networking with more people that I don't want to speak for him yet, but things are looking very promising. So the whole thing is like when it comes to reaching these type of opportunities, it takes just a little bit of patience, but you also got to just you got to really just keep persistence when it comes to just trying to establish all of these things. Like this is a brand new network, right? There's a lot of protocols on here. Some people have launched protocols before. Some people I've connected with are doing it for the first time. Some people are just now starting the airdrop farm. It's really gonna. I think it's gonna all mesh and really come together as we closer to that airdrop. So my goal right now is to continue to work with our developers, making sure everything's copacetic, make sure we get all of our audits in place, make sure we continue to have these rooms where I can answer any questions as we really get ready to start going, because it is going to get crazy, and I just want to make sure we're definitely staying transparent and keep building. But okay, what time is it? Oh my goodness, it's been an hour already. All right, guys. Yeah, I mean, let me stop right there and just see if there's any questions, and if not, I'll definitely go ahead and kind of wrap it up here because I know I have a tendency to start rambling. How do you do or create a multi-sig? Yeah, Drew. So all you got to do is go to that Brahma.fi, click the get started, click on Blast, connect your wallet, and it'll be on chain. It'll be on screen instructions of like how to get to the next steps and stuff like that. And then finally, you have to pay a transaction fee to actually do it. I think it's 1 cent. Once you have that, you'll see your multi-sig address. You can just copy that and send whatever you want to send in to the Brahma address, and it'll pop up on your screen. It's pretty nice. And then Mrs. Shelley, Miss Shelley, how are you?
Good. How are you, Kyle? Thanks so much for helping us out.
Of course.
What did I do yesterday? I connected my MetaMask wallet on what was it? For the Chrome extension for MetaMask, but I did not get my code, my share code. You know how they give you a referral code. So I see the box that's checked, but I don't see the number. Like if I wanted to share this with a couple people, I don't have an invite code.
On MetaMask, or did you mean on Blast?
What did I do? I connected the Blaster or BlastHoge. I connected that network, and how it gives you. I don't remember what I did.
You need it on Blast, Kyle. It would be Blast.
Cheryl, thank you so much. What did I
Blast
do?
Network, you weren't able to get a referral code?
Yeah, she didn't see that yet.
Are you on your computer when you did it?
I am on my computer now.
Do you mind sharing your screen? We could probably figure it out really quickly.
You can go to the invites tab next to the gold jackpot multipliers. There should be a tab called invites and you should be able to see your invite code in there.
Yeah, I'll just show you really quick, Shelly.
Okay, let me see how to share my
Yeah,
screen.
I'm sharing my screen. I can show you really quick.
Oh, okay, okay.
So you've seen this screen, right?
Right, I got that part and I hit
All right.
the
So if you
bridge
click
and
airdrop right here,
and
and then down here, where it
no.
says-
Cheryl, did we do this? I don't think we did this.
Yes, we did do this, but you did not see the screen. That's what I was
Right.
saying. I thought it was,
okay, yeah. So from the home screen, if you click airdrop, and then you go to right here, it says invites, and then right here is your referral link. Okay.
Okay. Cheryl, do you know why I didn't see this screen?
the only thing I can think of, I don't know, do you have to have purchased Hoge in order to do that? I mean, that's the
Oh,
only
right.
I
Sure.
don't know.
Right.
Did you ever bridge any ETH from Ethereum to Blast?
Not yet, no. I don't
Okay,
have
that's
any.
Okay, that's probably why. I think you
That's
have to
probably
do
why, so I need to do that
step.
first.
Right, that's
Yeah.
what I mentioned yesterday, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Anything else, guys? Anything else you want me to talk about? I mean, I could answer any questions about crypto. And one thing I do want to say, guys, it's right now my focus is definitely primarily on Blast, right? And I'm gonna be, I'm in BlastHoge for the long term. It's gonna eventually become this thing that can run itself, right? Community-driven project. Hoge has been running itself for 3 years, and I very much like the way it's decentralized, and I don't have to be the focal point. None of us do. So we're building out this infrastructure. We're gonna create this DAO that has very, this documentation I wrote, it took me 3 days to write it, right? It's like over 50 pages of information of how this entire project's going to work once it's live and once the DAO's live. Here's our tokenomics, like everything's going to be completely self-driven. So I say that to say, right now, the primary focus is Blast. Why? Because we know this airdrop's coming and we know when. And we know it's probably going to be huge. So it makes a lot of sense to primarily focus on this. But we're not always going to only be talking about Blast, guys. The reason I really, when Ben approached me and said I should start speaking about this, hosting these rooms, it made a lot of sense to me because I try to help out dozens of people on a monthly basis before this on airdrops, right? And I lose a lot of people, right? They don't understand what I'm talking about. And the Blast airdrop is much easier to farm than the other ones, right? The other ones require you to understand these terms that we've already kind of established, right? Bridging, how to add liquidity, what is the DEX? And these other networks do not have clear written instructions, right? They don't have, it's really like, I don't know, how do I say it? Like if you're not familiar with how to maneuver a crypto network and how to add liquidity and go to this DEX and do this swap, make sure your slippage is correct. And you just start throwing out all these technical terms, it would be very confusing, right? And I find that I have a lot of people that become disinterested because people don't like what they don't understand. Very easy for me to see why somebody wouldn't. So Blast is a good starter network. It's a good starter airdrop for people to farm, get some money in your pocket so you can see it's real. And then you move on to the next one. You go from being maybe a 1 out of 10 in your technical understanding to now you're a 5 or a 6. So this next airdrop I start talking about for Linea, for example, when I'm telling you about, go to this bridge, send money over here, then go ahead and connect your wallet and do a double hop, orbit or sway, whatever I say, it'll be at least a lot easier to understand and you'll be armed better to get this next airdrop. Because again, none of these airdrops truly tell you when it's coming. You don't know when. You just hope you're not too late. And then you also don't know what the criteria is going to be. Some of them look at how much volume you had. Some of them look at, some of them look at how much volume you had. Some of them look to see how long you've been using their network. Some of them look to see how many transactions you sent on the network. Blast does not care about any of that, right? They're like, come one, come all. We got points for everybody. So it's very easy to get involved. So, with that being said, I'm just making it clear that, as time goes on, we're going to be talking about other airdrop networks. And then for those of you that are part of the Airdrop Alliance Discord, I know I've been slacking on the updates there. I'm definitely going to be posting some stuff tomorrow. But you know, there's other opportunities.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, a couple quick questions. The first one is, so in order to maximize your point value, you have to have a certain amount of Ethereum bridged over on the Blast network, correct? And the more
In
you
order
actually to actually get points, for the points to accrue.
Yeah, I mean, any balance will start generating points, but the more you have,
the more points, right? Gotcha. Now I've been trying to figure out. I finally got on my laptop here because like the invite codes, everybody's having trouble with. I think on the phones and like especially the iPhone and the iPad, they're not able to get to that invite section. You know I have no sign. It's like you can't tab over. You know what I mean when you're bridging?
yeah.
I don't know if there's something that can be done with that at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's the thing with these, you know, new networks, just not technology. There's one thing I know for certain: after 10 years, it breaks. So, like,
Yeah.
you know, the Blast Discord, there's a lot of people in there asking questions about points and such. Unfortunately, you know, they're like the thing with crypto. Like, a lot of these are developers that start off from just like, oh look, what Ben? When did you get in here?
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, I just joined. I'm gonna be really quick because I'm in the middle of getting my suit ready. I am currently, let's see, where am I? I'm in South Korea. Woo! So I'm out here in South Korea right now. I had a really cool dinner last night. Oh, dude. It was tough, man. It was tough. It was a 9-hour flight from Dubai, and I was overnight yesterday, and it was crazy. But it was really good. I'm actually getting everything ready right now. I'm ironing my shirt. I'm about to go speak in front of like several hundred people here in South Korea, and we're going to be talking about meme coins. I'm going to be going into BlastHoge. I'm going to be sharing the vision of the Blast network with these people and everything. So it's really, really exciting, man. I saw that the call was going on. Oh, my times are so messed up. I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, the call's happening right now. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. It's 11:30 a.m. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
But yeah, Kyle, I appreciate you for holding it down, man, and bringing the value here. And yeah, I'm just getting everything together. But I want to just pop in and say what's up. Let everybody know that, you know, we're making moves. I want to, you know, show people the views and such, and I'm definitely going to be sending event today, and I believe I'm going to and we're going to be partnering up with some big people out here to come on and really start sharing our mission here with BlastHoge and everything, man. So I'm fired up. I just wanted to pop in real quick and be like, yeah, let's go.
Yes, sir. Yeah, awesome, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, definitely send some pics. Let us know how everything's going with the events. I know you're about to crush it.
I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna get back to ironing this shirt. I got a limited time frame before they're gonna pick me up, and I guess it's very disrespectful to not be ready when they show up. So I'm going to be ready. I've been learning all the customs, man. There's so many little things, dude. Like you like when you sit down at dinner, you cannot pour your own drink. You can pour other people's drinks, but if you pour your own drink, it's basically as good as committing suicide. It basically is like you are a selfish, terrible person. So I'm like pouring everyone else's drink. I put the thing down, then they pour my drink. If you serve yourself food, same thing. It's like you are you're selfish. Like it was like, why would you serve yourself food? Like there's other people there. Serve them food, and then they serve you food, and we all nourish each other, and it's a symbiotic relationship. And even when you cheers, it's like whoever puts their glass lower is like you're just like want to like you don't want to you don't want them to like cheers the bottom of your glass, right? It's like kind of disrespectful. It's like, oh, I'm above you or something. So like yesterday, like the ladies like try, because they're like, you know, they're very much edifying me and letting them know who I am, and they're very, very grateful to have me here. And so the woman keeps trying to like pull her glass lower than mine, and I'm like, no way, lady. Like, I was like, no way. I'm putting my glass lower each time. Like, even if I need to go to the floor, like you're not putting your glass lower than my glass. Like,
Wait, what does it mean if the glass is lower?
It's just like a disrespect thing. It's like, here, let me show you real quick. I got 2 like poppy cups here. So it's like, you gotta have like, so let's say this is my glass and this is their glass, right? You don't want the top of your cup to like be above theirs. Like if you go to cheers and like the top here is like above their top, it's like a disrespectful thing, right? Like obviously at the same level is good, but you want like to show respect. You want to try to have the top of your glass touch the bottom of their glass.
Wait, to show respect?
To show respect, yeah, because it's like the top of your glass is going you my glass. It's like, I think I'm better than you.
They'd be kicking me out.
I know.
I wouldn't know what to do.
They gave me a crash course before I went, and they're like, don't mess up any of these things or you're going to disrespect everyone. I'm like, okay, I won't. I was like, okay, I will make it work. I'll do all the right things. I swear I will not. And I did. I pleased, you know, with like the top guy. Yesterday I had a dinner with him, and I got a phone call today to say that basically I did a really good job. So I impressed them well. I pleased them with my etiquette and my excitement for meme coins. They're really excited for meme coins out here. You know, I'm not okay. I'm gonna hop off because I do need to get ready. But I was gonna say one thing. It's like I've been realizing, like, I think meme coins potentially could be like the ultimate freedom device, like of monetary systems and like changing the world. I'm like, this is, if you really think about it, like Bitcoin's really cool. It's mathematics. You know, you can't you can't really top Bitcoin in what it is as digital gold. But there's this like, I don't know what the tokenomics would have to be. But there's just like this essence of like the ability for meme coins to like take over the monetary system, because it's like, it's community driven. It's like participation. It's like, you know, we are like subject to a monetary system that we have to participate in. Whereas, you know, this is like an ecosystem that everybody chooses to put their energy and their resource, and as people put their energy and resource into it, it grows larger and larger. It's like, you know, I was having visions. I was like, dude, meme coins are going to change the world. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, people don't even realize like what it means, like, and how big it's going to become, because it's just a joke. But you know what? That video Cash made, Kyle, talking about like, did Noah make that AI video?
Yeah,
dude,
he's being
that video like struck a chord for me, bro. I was like, yo, like,
yeah, he said it right. We were working on it at 1 a.m. last night. He's like, both Ben and JB are gonna cry when they see this. He called it. I'll definitely share that with
a chord for me. I was like, bro, we're changing the world.
Yeah, I mean, bro. Just to add on to what you're saying, I know you got to go, but when all of these narratives happen, and all of my serious trader friends that are all Bitcoined out, and they're just like, bro, this is not going to go anywhere, man. Meme coins? Are you kidding me? And next thing you know, it's worth billions of dollars. You know, the combined market cap of all the top 20 meme coins is $60 billion. If you combine all of that and put it onto a list of all the top coins, it's number 5. And that's what people, you know, you just got to follow the money. So, I mean, when it comes to the liberation aspect, I mean, that's a tall task. But
yeah,
I do think it's here to stay.
Yeah. We're basically, people have seen how big there's institutions creating meme coin index funds, right? And that is, I can't go into all the details on the call today, but essentially we've created Kyle, myself, Noah, Cash, amazing team, bro. These guys, I'm so grateful. Like a lot of you guys who have known me, maybe you know me a long time or not. I know some people on here have. It's like I'm so grateful to connect with those three individuals and for this team to come together, because it's just like the symbiotic like essence of like the values we each bring to the table and what we're doing. It's like, dude, I'm so grateful for it. I'm excited for it. And because of this team, because of what we've done, we literally attracted the most amazing partnership ever. Right? Like the first night I landed in Dubai, because of how awesome everything is with Blast and BlastHoge and everything we've done, we manifested this partnership where, it's not available in other parts of the world, but literally there is going to be a lot of meme coin like index funds. And essentially we made a partnership with a program. And that's why I'm here in Korea. I'm speaking on this program's behalf. They're basically creating a massive meme coin index fund. And this is like a little bit of alpha for sure. I'm not even going to go too deep into it, but we're basically going to be one of the very first projects that this meme coin index fund starts to like allocate their money into. And so I don't even really want to go. This is recording. Okay.
I can always edit that part out, but
okay, yeah, edit this part out. But basically, guys, like we're going to potentially, I don't want to give anything too crazy away, but
it's bullet.
If you're in BlastHoge right now, just know you should be lit. And you should take all action over the next couple of weeks to bring your friends, bring your family into at least like allocating, $100 worth of BlastHoge into this, because we are really working like maniacs. Kyle, Cash, Noah, myself. I'm literally in South Korea right now, working to like bring this thing to the next level. Like we are, like if you can't see how committed and all in we are as a team, it's like, we're going all in. So, I think there was, dude, we're gonna take this thing to $1 billion market cap.
You know what's funny? When so I didn't mention anything about the index fund or anything like that, but I mentioned you were in South Korea and you're essentially there for some BlastHoge work. And the moment that I said that, you instantly started calling me, and some people probably remember. I was like, oh, Ben's calling me, and I'm like, oh shit, was I not supposed to mention that at all? I'm like, well, he did say he's going to South Korea. That's okay. And then I thought you called again, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate you being out there, man. I know it's definitely not easy to keep traveling to all these places that the teams ask you to travel to for the sake of putting these partnerships together. But I don't know who does it any better, brother. I'm sorry. Sorry,
oh, man,
you're getting to fly first class and whatnot. It sucks. I'm sorry.
It's okay, man. I'll keep doing it for the team, Kyle. I'll keep doing it for the team. And yeah, man, I'm fired up. Man, I'm really appreciative for this. And it's really cool. Like this isn't some formal MLM network marketing deal. Like there are no like uplines, downlines in this deal, which I know like some people are used to. It's like, guys, and I love that because it gives the energy where anyone can help anyone. It doesn't matter who referred them or shared them. It's like, if somebody brings somebody to the community and you take time, energy, and effort to share with them and they buy the chart, a rising tide lifts all ships. So there's no need to be like, greedy with energy or like try to like you can give it to everyone and anyone and help everyone in this. And it's going to help you just like it's going to help them. And it helps the entire community. So it's like, we're all able to give our all and receive it from one another. So it's like, my effort being here is the direct benefit of everybody on this call, everybody who's a holder, everybody who's involved, and you guys showing up and bringing more people is my direct benefit as well. So I love being in this symbiotic relationship with you guys. And okay, I am going to go though because I don't want to be late. Yeah. Because I think I'm going
to end it on that note. This is why we need you to be leading these meetings again, man. I don't know how to give those kind of speeches. All right.
Tomorrow, I'll be on the call tomorrow. Let's pack it out tomorrow, and I have time. it will be like, I guess 10 a.m. for me, and I'll make that happen, and let's freaking make it big tomorrow. But I am gonna hop off. When I'm riding to the event, maybe I'll make an announcement for the call, and let's freaking pack it out tomorrow and freaking do some awesomeness, guys. All right, bye for now. I love you guys. Appreciate you.
All right, later, brother. Okay. Where were we?
All right. I think I was asking you a question or two,
Right,
but
Blast Network.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So with people, you were saying that people signed up with your link. Are you sure that they actually bridged anything?
Yes, a couple of them actually bridged right before they signed up. So they bridged and then they signed up when they noticed the actual area. And then the other ones, I think there's at least 3 or 4 that signed up on their phones or on their iPhone or tablet. And, you know, they would share the screen and you just can't move over to that area. It just doesn't allow you to input that in. So I don't know how else to do it.
Yeah, I would definitely say from a computer.
From a computer. Yeah.
There's really no way around it because that's the first thing I noticed when I signed up. I couldn't click the invite button or you know,
Okay.
other tabs.
Okay, where do I click to actually interact with the, you know, like the
It's really
blur?
blurry. Is that the Blast IO screen under the airdrop?
Yeah, the airdrop screen where all the companies are, Blur, etc. Where do I actually click? Every time I click on them, it takes me to X. Like what?
So unfortunately, that's kind of what you have to do. You gotta click on X and then go to their website from their profile link.
Click on
Because
X.
the reason that they do that is because anybody can add an application onto the Blast leaderboard. It's not so like just imagine you're excitedly looking at some new protocol and you click on their link and it takes you directly to a site and it's a scam site.
Yeah.
And you connect your wallet and next thing you know all your money's gone, right? They can't let that happen. So they force these projects to have a profile on Twitter, which is where you go, and then from their Twitter you can go directly to their link, right? It's the most effective way to prevent scams.
Okay. That makes sense. So for example, Blaster, I just go there. Find their main web
Right.
on the thing. So I follow. And then where's their actual site?
Are you on their Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it should be right below their profile picture.
At Blaster XYZ.
Yeah.
So it's not a .com. I don't see the.
No, it's not XYZ. .xyz is a very popular endpoint for any crypto project, like BlastHoge.xyz. Yeah, let me know if you have any issues. But I do see it's 10:46. I don't want to keep everybody here all night. Cheryl, I know you had a question.
Yes, my question was, you said you're gonna put a link in, but you said you're gonna put one out then. I
Are
didn't.
you new to it?
No, not, you know, it's in the first week anyway. And I thought you said you're gonna put it in the chat. Did you not do that?
Was it that is that what you're talking about? Or is
I
it
think
something
that's what you said, yeah. It was a link you said you're gonna put in the chat.
Oh man.
I don't remember the link. So I got that.
This is what
If you don't remember.
well this is what I had shared earlier. I'm putting it at the end in the chat, but I don't remember what else I might have shared.
Okay.
Or I said I might have shared. Sorry. If it comes back to me there, unless anybody has any last second questions, we're gonna go back to doing these pretty daily because
Hey, if those of you are still hanging out here after all of that, man, some of it was probably a little confusing and maybe a little hard to understand. But this is something that I'm super, super excited about, folks. As you know, I've done a ton of videos recently about airdrops and done you airdrops. And hey, man, we have a celebrity in the house. Hey, how's it going, Aaron from Cowboys of Crypto? Good to see you, man. Thank you for swinging by. And but folks, this Blast network, if you know anything about DeFi Llama, you can go to DeFi Llama, and Blast network recently overtook the base network for TLV, which is total locked value. And I think it's closing in on about $2 billion worth of total locked value. And so tonight they really talked about the Blast network and all of the airdrops that are going to be coming. So Blast Network has already announced that they're going to do an airdrop. It looks like it's going to be on June 26th. So go to the description of this video. I've also put it in the chat a couple of times. Use my referral link and go get your MetaMask wallet connected to the Blast Network. All you have to do is just bridge a little bit of Blast from your Ethereum over to your Blast Network wallet on MetaMask, and you can start accumulating points for the Blast airdrop. From there, you can interact with some of the dApps, and the list is there. And we're going to be doing more of these videos. I'm probably going to be live streaming a lot of nights at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time when these guys are talking about this. But the other thing that he didn't deep dive into it a whole lot tonight, which I kind of like. These guys are adding a lot of value. He didn't even hardly talk about BlastHoge, which is the meme coin that Ben Notini there in Korea is one of my close friends. I've known him for several years now. And so him and Kyle and a couple other guys are on this BlastHoge meme coin. So I'm glad that Aaron was here. Hopefully he'll get a chance to check it out. But once again, I mentioned it. You couldn't hear me. I had myself muted. So when I was asking questions in the Zoom, you guys couldn't hear me, but then they answered the question. But one of the questions that I asked him was to talk about BlastHoge and how they believe that they, through what they're doing right now, growing their community, they plan to be one of the top few tokens on the Blast network when that airdrop goes live. And their contention, and it makes a lot of sense to me, is that when all of these hundreds of millions of dollars get airdropped to all of these people, they're going to be looking for a place to put some of that liquidity. And if even just a fraction of it flows over into the BlastHoge ecosystem, into the BlastHoge token, we could 10, 25, 50, 100x this token. And, these guys are in it for the long term. They just locked a bunch of liquidity for 3 years. And so you're going to have an opportunity to check it out more. I don't think that my son even knew about Dex Screener. But we'll go back to the description. We'll add the Dex Screener link where you can go look at BlastHoge. I think it's sitting right now at about a $3.7 to $4 million market cap. But even if you don't like meme coins and you don't care about buying any BlastHoge, I've bought some and I'm going to continue to buy more. I think it's going to do big things. But even if you don't care about that, just get on these calls and learn more about the Blast network ecosystem, because as they mentioned, this is like the Arbitrum airdrop, the Optimism airdrop, ZK Sync, which is on the way, and several other airdrops that are coming, on these layer 2 platforms. So I think that it could be a huge opportunity to take a little bit of Ethereum, bridge it over to the Blast network. ETH fees are pretty super cheap right now, and literally interact with a few things, but it costs pennies on the Blast network to do transactions. So you can literally go over and potentially qualify yourself for multiple airdrops, not only on the Blast network, but on the different dexes, as he mentioned there. I was writing it down. You got Blaster Swap, you got Thruster Finance, you got Juice, you got EtherFi, EigenLayer, Hyperblock. All of those dexes that don't have tokens yet, when you go and interact and make swaps within those dexes, you could be qualifying yourself for not only the Blast airdrop, but also airdrops on a lot of those different networks. So with that, folks, I know that we've been going almost for 2 hours here. For those of you that watch diligently all the way through, I got one of my good friends, David, just messaged me. I looked over and saw my text message. It says his head hurts, and he's newer to crypto, but I can totally understand why. He probably didn't understand a lot of what he saw, and that's okay. If you understood it, great. If you didn't, that's fine too. Reach out to me on Telegram. Reach out to me in the Discord group. That's what I'm here for. So I'm happy to maybe hop on another one of these live streams myself without everything else. In fact, I think I will. I don't know exactly when. Be on the lookout, but sometime soon I'm going to hop onto, a live stream like this, and I'm just going to bring up the Blast Network and show you my own account, show you the points that I've accumulated, show you the dApps that I have interacted with, and give you guys a little bit of a tutorial on how to get that done. And I'll do that very soon, because this is important stuff. The quicker you can start earning points, the quicker you might be involved in something that could be a few hundred, several thousand dollars in our pocket towards the end of June. So with that, thank you all for watching. God bless you. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you again real soon in the next video. Hit the end stream button, Fred.